Today we will discuss the topic Introduction to Polymer Chemistry. So in the introductory part of polymer chemistry, first of all we will discuss brief history of polymer. So polymers have been with us from the beginning of time. They form the very basis of our life, that is building blocks of our life. Animals, plants, all classes of living organisms are composed of polymers. However, it was not until the middle 20th century that we began to understand the true nature of polymers. Up to 20th century, we have does not idea about the polymer chemistry. In the 20th century, actually, we'll get a detailed idea or start learning about polymer chemistry. So, since formation of the Earth over 4 billion years ago, on its giant laboratory, elements like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen have been combined and form complex molecules. The polymer named protein got synthesized in nature. They also appeared in their other natural forms like wood, cotton, cellulose, starch, like that, etc. So actually, polymer is a basic or the building block of our life. From the when Earth's formation takes place, at that time, the whatever the gases present in the surrounding, generally the carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen and hydrogens, these gases present surrounding of the Earth, and these gases are combined together and formation of a complex organic molecule takes place. And from that, actually, protein formation takes place. And protein is the basic unit for the DNA. So that's why we're saying that our basic or the building block is from the polymer. In 15th century, a famous discoverer, that is Christopher Columbus, reported a solid mass collected from the exudates of a tree. It is called as a rubber. At that time, he does not know it is a polymer or it can be grow a tremendous polymer industry. But at that time, he just reported it is a rubber. Why it is said that rubber? Because the scientist Joseph Priestley reported that this solid could be rub pencil marks. So as this solid can be could be rub a pencil mark, so it is called the rubber. So it's named as a rubber. The the scientist Christian Schonbein, it is actually a Swiss scientist who discovered a gun cotton. There is a one history about that, or one how this gun cotton is invented. There is one incident takes place in his laboratory, and at that time he found the gun cotton. What happened in his laboratory? Actually, he working in his laboratory with his wife, and at that time he prepared the mixture of nitric acid. That nitric acid and sulfuric acid, that is nitrating mixture he prepared, and when he taking that mixture in a beaker, that beaker is put down from his hand and it spread over the table. He quickly took the apron and cleaned that table, and when he see that this apron is of his wife, and then he gets slightly tension that his wife's apron he taken. So then he placed this apron close to the fire, and he want to dry that one. But after some time, that apron get washed out. There is no apron found there. He took a fire, capture a fire, and no ash is available there. So that's why that material is called gun cotton. It is actually the nitrocellulose derivative. Then he find out that what happened with that material. He carried out so many times this experiment, and then he get that this is a nitrocellulose derivative. Then further, John Wesley had, he mixed pyroxene made from cotton and nitric acid with camphor. Actually, this pyroxene is made from the cotton and the nitric acid. So we can say that it is a nitrocellulose or it is a pyroxene. This pyroxene is mixed with the camphor. Further, this result in a cellulose nitrate, which is called a celluloid. And this celluloid having the so much applications. So cellulose nitrate derived from cellulose a is a natural polymer. Cellulose is a natural polymer, and from that this cellulose nitrate is derived. The Dr. Leo Hendrik Beckelen developed a phenol formaldehyde resin. This phenol formaldehyde resin is also having the so much application in our day-to-day life. It is used. So it is a phenolic resin. Actually, this is the first time in the laboratory that synthesized this phenol formaldehyde resin. This phenol formaldehyde resin is called as a bakelite. In 1912, the Jacques Brandenburger introduced one of the transparent material. It is called cellophane, and this cellophane having the tremendous application also in packaging industry, because this is a transparent material. It can be easily found. Formation can be takes place. So it is. This is the brief history of the polymer. Then today's age is the polymer age. It is called as a polymer age. Why it is called as a polymer age? Today's age, because in our day-to-day life, when we surveying our life or seeing that at early morning we take a brush. It is made from the polymer, and in our full day, lots of product made from the polymer that we are using. So we will see that here. So the synthetic polymer development made impact in our life. How? From polymer fancy decoration articles, textiles, building materials, packaging materials are made with a wide range of attractive choices. Today we are using more than 70% product that are made from the polymer actually. So these are the just few examples. So this is the so much part of our society. Then polymer having a, why it is a so much part of our society, or why it is very useful? Because the polymer having high strength. This is first important point of that. It having the light weight. This is very weight and strength ratio is very good. Then it having good flexibility. It is flexible. Then special electrical properties, resistance to chemicals, amenability for quick and mass production, and for fabrication into complex shapes in wide variety of colors. So these are the properties of the polymer, and due to that, it having so much application. Whatever amount of product we want, we can produce. So mass production can be done. The metal actually having that drawback, but here polymer overcome overcame that drawback, and that's why it having the so much application. So these properties make them very useful. So polymers can be converted into strong solid articles, flexible rubber like masses, soft and resilient foams, smooth and fine fibers, clean and clear glass like sheets, solid, jelly like food material, and so on. So such a application of the polymer. So on the polymer we can produce this article or this product, and that having the so much applications. They can be used to bond objects. When that Fevicix. Feviquick is one of the polymer actually. Then seal joints and fill cavities. Then bear loads, in fact, anything from clothing to naked to powering a space vehicle. Means clothes that are made, actually that are made from the polymer. I mean that the synthetic material or synthetic clothes are made, and that's why we are getting the so much variety in the clothes. And it also provide a power to the pace. Actually, in a pace vehicle, this polymer is used. It can even replace a human organ. We know that the artificial hearts are made, so the hearts or the other parts of the body, leg or the hand or the teeth, that are made, actually that are from the polymer, and that's why we are calling it as a polymer age. So this is a polymer age. Why we are saying that this is a polymer age? So this is a this due to this tremendous application, we have saying that this is a polymer age. We will see now the definition of polymer. So what is mean by the polymer? The word polymer actually is derived from the Greek word, or it is actually a Greek word. So poly means many. We know that poly means many, and mers means the part. So many parts, it is called polymers. So thus a polymer is a large molecule or a macromolecule. Means many points, the parts are joined together and form a single molecule. So it is a large molecule or a macromolecule. And these parts actually that are the repeating parts. So built up by the repetition of small chemical units. We can see here example. So this styrene on polymerization gives the polystyrene. So we can see here this repeating unit. Then polymer is a joint molecule. We can see the formulated definition. A polymer is a joint molecule built up from large number of same type of small molecules that are called the monomers, joined together through covalent bond. So it is the a polymer. Classification. Actually, polymer can be classified into different ways. The most obvious classification is based on the origin of the polymer. Generally, we are classifying polymer based on its origin. So what is its origin? According to that, polymer is classified. The most obvious classification is based on the origin. So that is natural versus synthetic polymer. Means polymer are classified as a natural and synthetic. There are also some other ways for the classification. So that can be based on the structure, that can be based on the preparation technique, that can be based on the application of the polymer, also can be based on the properties of the polymer. So here first classification is natural and synthetic polymer. Second classification, that is organic and inorganic polymer, means this classification is based on a structure. Then third classification is thermoplastic and thermosetting polymers. And fourth one is as a plastic, as a fiber, as a rubber, and as a resin. So we will see one by one in detail this classification. So in classification, first class we will see that natural and synthetic polymer. So which polymers are called as a natural and which polymer are called as a synthetic? So natural polymers, the polymers isolated from natural materials are called natural polymers. We know that nature synthesized the polymer. We are just isolating that polymer from source material. So it is a natural polymer. So example for this: cotton, silk, wool, then rubber enzymes and proteins, as well as cellophane, rayon, leather. All these are a natural source of the polymer or the modification in the natural polymers. Then second class is the synthetic polymers. So synthetic polymers, that are polymers synthesized from low molecular weight compounds, are called as a synthetic polymers. You can see example that polyethylene, PVC, nylon and terylene. So you know that what is the difference in the natural and synthetic polymer? Natural polymers are biodegradable. Any natural polymer if you are taking, it is the biodegradable. Biologically it is get degraded. But synthetic polymer cannot be degraded biologically because it is artificially made. And today we are facing the problem of that synthetic polymer that are non biodegradable. Then second classification, organic and inorganic polymers. So what is called organic polymer? What is meant by the organic polymers? So everyone we know that the organic means the carbon compounds, means polymer that made up from the carbon atom or its backbone chain, means chain of the carbon is made from the backbone chain of the polymer is made from the carbon atom. That polymer is called organic polymer. And majority of the polymer or synthetic polymers that are organic as well as natural also the a, a organic polymer. Example for this, that is a polyethylene or polystyrene or PVC or the polyepoxide, polyamide. These are the organic polymer, as well as the we can say cellulose. It is also the organic polymer. Then what is called inorganic polymers? The polymer whose backbone chain is made from other than carbon atom are called the or inorganic polymers. So example for this, glass and silicon rubber. Then third classification, that is thermoplastic and thermosetting polymers. So thermoplastic polymers means what? Actually this classification is based on the thermal behavior of the polymer. The polymers thermoplastic polymer means the polymers soften on heating and can be converted into any shape, and that they can retain on cooling or stiffen, and this process can be repeated several times. It's called thermoplastic. Means we know that the PVC pipe, we are making a socket in our agriculture farm. We are making PVC pipe socket that just heating that one, and then after cooling that socket is formed there. So this process, this is nothing but the thermoplastic polymer. So example for this PVC or the nylon, these are some example that are the these are the thermoplastic polymers. And this process can be repeated. We can repeat several times. Then thermosetting polymers. The polymers on heating undergo some chemical change and become infusible and insoluble mass are called thermosetting polymers. Means after heating it get infusible, means we cannot convert it into the any shape. It get infusible mass or insoluble mass are called the thermosetting polymer. Then fourth classification, it based on the application of the polymer. So what is the application of the polymer? So polymer can be used in the form of plastic, in the form of elastomer, fibers and liquid resins. So what is its application form? Based on it is classified. So first there is the plastics. So polymer on application of heat and pressure shaped into hard and tough utility articles are called as a plastic. Any polymeric material, when it is converted into article or utility article by the application of heat and pressure, it is called plastic. Example for this, PVC or polymethyl methacrylate or the polystyrene. So these are the example. So from the PVC we are making a PVC pipes that is used for the water transportation. Then polymethyl methacrylate, that fiberglass, it is made from the polymethyl methacrylate. Polystyrene, TV cabinet are made from this polystyrene. Then elastomers. So when polymers vulcanized into rubbery products exhibiting good strength and good elongation property are called as a elastomer. Vulcanization, it is one of the process that polymeric material is mixed with the sulfur, and then the material is formed, that material having the elongation property. So such a material are called the elastomer. So example, that is natural rubber, synthetic rubber, and silicone rubber. We know that the rubber, the tubes and tires used in the bikes and the cars, that is the elastomer. Then fibers, when drawn into filament, polymer is drawn into the filament like material. So thin filament whose length is at least 100 times to its diameter are called as a fibers. Example, nylon, terylene, etc. Then resin. So polymers used as adhesives, coating compounds, sealant, etc. So this is fourth way of the polymer application, that resin. So adhesive, we know that adhesives are used, then potting compounds or the sealants, or it is used in a liquid form as a liquid resins, it is called the resin. So it is a epoxy adhesives or polysulfide sealants like that. So this is a classification of the polymer. So in this today's lecture, we discussed this introductory part of the polymer, that is introductory part, that is brief history of the polymer, then definition for the polymer and classification of the polymer. So thank you to all of you.